What's going on, people? What's going on? Finally, in getting this video up here of me going over some of these settings that I use for my T80 wheel. Apologizing ahead of time for my two red nose pits in the background chewing on bones in my office where I have all this set up. So let's get to it. I'm doing this because Project Cars Game of the Year edition is coming out, and a lot of people probably are wondering, what to use, what's going on, what wheel to buy, the T80 wheel is any good or not, or if it's just a crappy wheel that everybody keeps saying. I'm here to tell you that for a cheap ass wheel, it works. If you ain't got the money to blow, the $150, $200, $300, $400 on a regular wheel that got force feedback, the T80 will hold you down until you get enough funds to grab you an official force feedback wheel, which I'm gonna do soon. But in the meantime, I'll just go over some of this stuff with y'all. So let's get into it. So first, you want to go over into your settings, your options menu. Click on that. Probably already know all this crap already, but I'll go over it anyways. So in your controls, as you can clearly see, I'm using the T80 wheel. So let's go and calibrate it. And hit the square button. I'm gonna do this a little unorthodox. The Thrustmaster manual says to calibrate the wheel at 240 degrees. I tried that and I don't really like it because you have to crank the wheel way too much from left to right to get full lock. And depending on what type of car you're using, that could be a real pain in the ass. So I set my wheel at 270. Y'all guys can try it, see if you like it. If not, you know what I'm saying, go at 240, it's up to you, but I personally love 270. It's a great feel. So here it goes. So first, you just want to turn the wheel to one side. Once you hit 100, hit X. All I like to do is just let the wheel go, let it snap back in place and hit 0. Sometimes I might be jumping around a little bit. For some reason, I don't know, my wheel, when I turn it to the right, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't stay on 270. So I turn it counterclockwise until I get it to about 270. Once I get it to stay there, hold it there, hit the X button, you're good to go. Save it. As far as pedals go, T80 pedals, they're crappy pedals, but they work, whatever. So hit the brake pedal, hit the X button, put the brake to the floor, gas to the floor, boom, you're done. Save. As far as configuration goes, this is my configuration setup. When I first got this game, I had Project Cars for PlayStation 4 when it first came out. I was all excited. Then, of course, all the hoopla with the controller being all types of messed up, it was garbage. So I returned it. I got it for Xbox One, thought it'd be a little bit better. Xbox One was all right, it was manageable. Then I returned that too, and started playing Forza 6 for a while. Forza 6 just got old, so I went back and downloaded the digital version for Project Cars and tested it back out using just the pad on Xbox One. Then I started using the 458 Italia. I set it up very similar to this on Xbox One. So if you got an Xbox One and you're watching this, these settings will work for the Xbox One as well. Keep in mind, my steering dead zone is set to 3. Took a lot of time to get this right. A lot of going on the forums. A lot of credit goes to the dudes on the Project Cars forums who put a lot of these settings up. I tinkered with the settings to make them my own and what feel comfortable to me, which I encourage everybody to do. But hey, if these settings work for you, then you're good to go. So my steering dead zone is set at 3. If you set it to 0, it's way too sensitive. It's hard to keep the car straight on the track, especially with this particular wheel. So set it at 3. Steering sensitivity, I have it at 70. 95% of the car, 70 is just fine. As far as the go-karts go, them shits are real twitchy, so if you have it at 70, you might find yourself twitching all over the place, so you might want to lower it down to 60 or 55. Until you get used to it, then you can bump it back up to 70. Throttle dead zone, no need to have this any higher than 0. Throttle sensitivity, I keep it at 50. Brake dead zone, again, no need to have it any higher than 0, unless you want to push down the brake pedal a little bit more before you get feedback. I personally don't. Brake sensitivity, I see some people have it at 50, 35. I have it at 70 because I like to stop when I hit the brake. Especially with these pedals, there's no real resistance on it. So, 70 works for me. Speed sensitivity and control filter sensitivity. You don't need to touch these at all. Keep them at 0. If you're using a pad, Obviously you want to bump them up probably to speed sensitivity, put it at maybe 50 or 60. Controller filtering maybe at 40, 45 is what I kind of have it at sometimes when I'm racing with the pad. Other than that, leave it at 0. Damper saturation, don't really know what this does, but I can tell you I had it at 0 and I put it at 100. It seems to be real nice at 50. The car feels a little bit more responsive, a little smoother at 50. Just my personal opinion, so I keep it at 50. Force feedback, I know. We don't have force feedback. I just left it at 100, whatever. As far as the controller input, I have it at 3. Advanced is on. Soft steering damping is on. And visual wheel filtering is on. Opposite lock help is off. I have found that if you turn this on, some say it's easier to control the oversteer when you start sliding out. I personally don't think so, so I left it at that. Edit assignments. You can see everything's pretty standard here, except for the traction control. I have set to my R2 button. I don't drive with any assist. Sometimes you're driving a powerful race car and it might start to rain, and you need that traction control just to give you a little extra help, maybe to get you to the pit stop so you can change to wet tires. I'll show you what that looks like in a hot second. So we exit out of here. I'll just go through my visuals real quick. Everything's pretty normal here. I had this set to subtle, only because, let's be honest, when the sun glare hits you and you're driving a cockpit view, some tracks could be a real pain. So I just have to limit that a little bit. Temporal view, I had that, temporal level, I had that set at 0 a couple days ago. I found that the frame rate was kind of annoying. It slowed down just a little bit more than I like. So I bumped it back up to 2. I've had it up to 5, no higher than 5. If you get higher than that, it starts to get a little cloudy. As far as the ghosting goes, I'm playing on a 43-inch 4K resolution TV, even though the game's not 4K. It's a big TV and I'm about 5 feet away from it, so I don't want any ghosting going on. I like to see the clearest picture possible. And just so you guys can see, gameplay wise, I am playing with no assist, and my on-screen guides, no assist, no turn line, no brake line, nothing like that. You can play with the brake line, it's all good and well. Some guys, you know, they'll harp on you, say, oh, you play with the brake line, you're not a real racer. I find that a bunch of BS. You know, you need the brake line sometimes to get used to tracks. Once you get used to the track, you're golden. You don't need the brake line no more. You know, it will make you faster because you're braking later than you should, and you know, you're judging the track based on how you drive, not how the game wants you to drive. So I say if you can get used to driving without the brake line, turn it off, have a much better time. I did just download the Crew Chief application from the Android App Store, so check that out. I haven't used it yet, so I'll start using it tonight and see how it goes. Maybe I'll post another video on how that's working. So without further ado, let's just get into some racing, because that's what y'all came here for in the first place. So I'm just gonna lower the audio just a little bit because I am recording and I really don't want the audio to overpower my voice. I'm just gonna turn that to 65 real quick and bump everything down to 65 or 70 just for the purposes of the video. Then I'll bump everything back up to where I had it again later on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump into a car, just do a time trial, and I'm not gonna use this car first because then everybody will be like, oh, your settings suck. This car is really hard to drive. So I'm gonna take it on, let's go to Laguna Seca. It's probably the best track to test on because everybody knows the track and it's pretty easy to ride. So we're gonna start off in a GT car. I use my best session, and I will pick the Audi Ultra. A lot of people find this car a little difficult to drive. I personally love this car. So we'll start off in this car, then we'll bump it up to faster rides as we go along. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on YouTube. I will answer comments. I work during the day, so if I don't get to your comment during the hours of 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, you know, I'll hit you back up either during my break or when I get home. Again, like, subscribe, you know, show some brothers some love. Everybody out there who makes these YouTube videos, we do it in our spare time. It's not like it's our full-time job for most of us. So, you know, if we're helping you, help us. You know what I'm saying? Really wish this game took a little faster. Oh, let's get out of this full car nonsense. getting the cockpit view. Try to come around the track full speed. As soon as you start going, you're probably going to slide out. Tires not warm, brakes ain't hot yet. So just keep that in mind. Notice I'm real straight. There's no being at 3. It's not making the car go twitchy at all. And then I'll show y'all traction control on, traction control off. I know some of y'all watching this like, oh, you can run this track faster. It's not about how fast we can run the track at the moment. It's strictly just about, hey, this T80 wheel does do the job. I can't take it for force feedback. You can drive fast. I play with the game difficulty usually between 60 and 70. Once I get my force feedback, I'll probably bump it up a little bit. You know, play on a higher difficulty, but 60 and 70 is suffice for right now. I'm definitely not the fastest racer by any means. You know, leave that to the professional sim racing guys. But I do like the game. The immersion factor in Project Cars is simply just the best. I find that playing on PlayStation 4 just seems to be seamless. I lost all my save data on Xbox One, and that really kind of pissed me off at the hours of playing, so I just stopped playing on Xbox One and jumped back on for PlayStation 4. Plus with a set of Corsa coming out pretty soon, and the release of Project Cars 2 at some point, I figured I'm going to do my racing here. So again, that was this car. Again, it's not the fastest car on the planet. It is a nice ride though. So the question probably is going to be, damn, okay, that handled pretty good. Can you drive a faster car? How does it work on something that's faster, like an LP1, LP2 Formula car? I'm about to show you that. So I'm going to show you that you can drive with these settings, with the T80 wheel, with any car. You know, it doesn't have to be, oh, I can only use the T80 wheel for the road cars because they're slow. Not true at all. Are you going to have the force feedback shaking in the wheel? No. Are you going to have a wheel that's going to give you a great experience? Yeah. So I would say, if that's what you're looking for, just to have some fun, get into it, by all means, handle it. Now, let's see. We'll take the BMW out here. 218 miles an hour, see how it rocks. You know, actually nah. Let's try the LP1, the Merrick RP. This way, you guys can see that it does work with a faster car. Anybody who drives these prototype cars knows they're extremely twitchy. They got a real strong gear shift. You know, you hit the downshift button, you gotta hit it down real quick. You know, you can come around a turn pretty quick in these cars. But if you come out the turn too fast, hit the gas with no traction control, what's going to end up happening? You're going to spin around, the circle crash to the wall, race is over. So, I'm going to show you that you don't need a wheel that's going to do 900 degrees of rotation to drive these cars. Having it at 270 works just fine. And hopefully we have some of y'all out there who, you know, want to get into this game but don't have the $200 to buy a force feedback wheel. And you can spend a quick $100, or maybe even cheaper. You can find it online somewhere. So I'm saying about the brakes not being warmed up. So you stop on top. It'll all change in a couple minutes. I'm barely turning this wheel these days. You know, you don't have to turn it off super duper hard. You know, that's why I have my dead zones, my sensitivity set the way I do. But again, this is comfortable for me. So maybe you drive different than me, maybe you're not driving like everybody else. So take some time, tinker with the settings. Continuation of the video, stop recording afterwards. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can see we're still on the green saber. We're still driving this track. We're still getting it in. Talking about this track pretty quick. Not really, but for video demonstrations, this is what it's going to be. As you can see, I came around track pretty quick in this car. So, I'm going to take you guys out of here. The video's not going to be that long. I got probably 2 more cars to do, and then I'll let y'all rock. You know, go get the game, get the wheel, do whatever if you already have the wheel, and just being frustrated at project cars because you can't get the wheel to work right. Nobody's setting is working for you. Try mine. It might work. If it doesn't, tinker with it. If you don't want to, you know what? Then go spend $300-400 on a wheel that you're probably not going to be able to use because you don't want to take the time out to set it up. I mean, bottom line is, this is not Forza. You can't just buy a wheel or get the game and say, hey, you know, this is going to be the game I'm going to play with, and call it a day, and it's just supposed to work out the box. It doesn't work like that. It's a simulation game. I have Dirt Rally 2, and that game there is crazy. You can't just pick up the game like you're playing, you know, Horizon 2, because it doesn't work like that. You'll crash. I found that out the hard way. So let's pick a car that's a little difficult to drive. You know, some of these Lotus cars, they're very, very fast because the turbo kicks in really, really quick. Once that turbo kicks in, the car just wants to be a rocket ship. And at that point, it gets very hard to control if you don't know what you're doing. So, we'll take it out, show you how it works, that you can drive an open wheel car with these settings too, and you'll still be fine. With these particular cars, be fast, but don't hold down the pedal when you're coming around a turn, because that turbo kicks in when you're coming around a corner. With this specific wheel, you don't have 900 degrees of rotation, so trying to counter steer a slide is going to be very difficult, if not damn near impossible. So I would say take it easy coming around turns. On a straightaway, you can open it up. Just be careful because you might get a little loose. You'll see what I'm talking about. Force feedback wheel, don't go selling stuff so you can buy one. Get used to driving with a wheel first. This is a great entry level wheel for those people who don't really know how to drive with a wheel yet, because it's totally different than driving with a pad. Totally different. At first you're going to be slower with a wheel because you got to get used to it, but I tell you, by the time you get used to it, you will start to get faster with the wheel. It's just an all around smoother experience. By far, don't sleep. There's plenty of guys out there with controllers that are top players in the world. So driving with a pad is also very successful if you can do it. A lot of us can't do it. I'm fast with a controller, but I'm faster with my wheel. Well, that's it. You know, like, subscribe, tell me what you think. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button. You know, share it, tell your people about it. You know, promote. Holla at me. Deuces.